but today she is going to try and convince us that we can go out in our backyards and sleep under the snow.
It's great.
And if you can convince
I tell you, I've heard you
Wow.
sold refrigerators to Eskimos, so let's...
You'll love this one. It's absolutely wonderful. You know, I have lived in the outdoors and loved the outdoors all of my life.
Yeah.
In fact, I live in Salt Lake City on a mountain, and I haven't brought a picture for you today. This is the mountain. I
Look
live
at that.
right in the base of
Where
that
at?
mountain. You can see where the little red circle
What's that
is.
for sale sign doing there?
No, it's not there. It's not there.
It's not there.
So I have this
That's neat.
gorgeous mountain, and when you're out, you can camp anytime. And the great time about winter is there's no bugs and there's really no people.
I know.
You don't
I know,
how
but
great it is.
How
All right.
much snow do you need? We didn't talk about that. How much snow do you need, though, to build one of these things?
When you get about a foot of snow, you'd be in great shape. Instead of building a snowman, build an
Or
igloo.
you can
So
collect.
for all of you
That's
in
right.
Santa Barbara, this isn't probably
no,
the best thing.
But you can collect snow and build
You
one,
certainly
can't
can
you?
collect snow,
All
and
right.
that's what it is. And
Yeah.
we're going to show you how to make igloos, and they're much easier than taking a tent camping, and you sleep in them. They're warmer, and you can't hear a thing. They're fabulous.
And I bet kids love them.
Yeah, igloo building can keep kids busy for hours and teach them a little bit about the properties of hot and cold. Up in the mountains in the Salt Lake City area of Utah lives a man who has made a name for himself by working and playing in snow. His name is Jim Phillips, and he's one of the world's experts in living in snow structures. Hey, anybody home?
Hey, Diane, it's good to see you. Come on in.
Thank you. Boy, this is amazing. It's so different inside than it is outside. Tell me about the different kinds of snow houses there are.
Well, there's about 4 different kinds that we can make up here. Probably one of the simplest that people understand is a snow cave. You'd have a hard bank of snow that you just tunnel back into and make a room in. Then there's the snow house like we're in right now, and that's where you'd actually saw snow blocks in the hard snow and peek them over our heads like it is in here to make kind of a pup tent. Then you have the traditional, the greatest one of all, which is the igloo, and that's the spiral-shaped blocks that you spiral up. That's the most difficult for people to build. I think the simplest and easiest that everybody could do is the snow mound house, sometimes called a quanchi, and that's where you just pile up snow, and you could do this in your own backyard, and then you would let it set overnight and go in and hollow it out. Everybody can do that.
Well, let's go to my backyard and make one.
Sure, there's enough snow there. Let's do it.
Nothing like it. You know, we're going to do the same thing here in the backyard, but I think we're going to need some reinforcement. Fortunately, Jim's son and father were on hand to help us out. The first step in creating a snow dome is to make a large amount of snow about 4 feet high. Remember that shoveling snow is very strenuous. It's a good idea to take it easy and not overexert yourself.
Diane, what you'd like to do is let the snow mound set overnight. This lets the snow cure up and get firm on the surface. It'll be strong and you can hollow it out inside.
The next step is to get about 30 sticks that are about 10 inches long. Paint the ends of the sticks black. You'll see why in a minute. Pound the sticks all the way into the dome, spacing them about 1 to 2 feet apart all the way around the mound. They will serve as guides when you hollow out the inside.
What we can use to cut the doorway with, Diane, is a wood saw, just like we use for cutting those snow blocks up on the mountain. And first thing that I'll do is I'll take and I'll just score an entryway. It'll be down kind of low. You want it to be just large enough to get into. Once we get it cutting, it cuts quite nicely. Then we'll just break this entrance out with a shovel in here. So this will give us a nice clean cut for that opening on this thing.
How would you keep warm inside?
Well, snow is a very good insulator. You see, it's mostly air when you have it like this, and it'll be running 10, 20 degrees warmer inside than it is outside. Temperatures might be around 30 degrees if it was 20 degrees outside. It also keeps the wind from blowing on you or the snow from falling on you. So they're great structures to be in if you're out in the wilderness or in your backyard.
As you hollow out the inside, scrape away the snow until you see the ends of the sticks. This will assure you that your walls are an even 10 inches thick. Line the floor with a tarp or plastic sheet, and your snow dome is done. Wow, it's all done. It looks great.
Neat, aren't they?
They are. Are there any dangers with the snow houses?
Some people worry about them collapsing, but that's not a problem. The real danger you have is with fire. People should not have any kind of stoves or heaters inside of them at all. Just stay inside of them just like they are.
Well, thanks. I'm going to get ready to camp here tonight.
Well, I've got to ask Steve, our director, go back to that iris of the indoor games. Was there any room in there? Look at.
There wasn't a lot of room, I'll be honest with you, but it was nice, cozy, and warm. And we had a blizzard outside. I mean, it was like 30 degrees below zero.
Now, did you actually spend the night out there?
I did. In fact, I spent a whole afternoon taking a foam pad out, and I got my quilts out. I put a sleeping bag out. And a couple of nights ago, I slept out of mine all night. And
Did you sleep in that outfit you had on?
No, I just slept. I just put on some thermal underwear and got in the bag, and I thought it would be cold.
Yeah.
But I spent an hour taking all the quilts off and everything because it wasn't that cold. It was too warm.
Now, and I want to get back to the kids thing. You touched upon it, you know, the safety of them. But still, you know, you send children in there. Is there any kind of rule of thumb to follow before you would allow certain age children, for example, or
that's 10
size
inches
children
thick.
to
Right,
build
you don't
these
want to put
things?
real small children in them. I mean, they're not dangerous because what happens is they freeze overnight. The one I have, we built 2 weeks ago, and it's still solid. The thing about it is if the kid is big enough to help build one, he's big enough to get out. You only have about 6 to 10 inches of snow over it, so
Okay, well, that was the, you know, you could be inside, and for some reason, someone could run and jump on top, and bingo, you've got.
Unless it was real soft, I think you'd have it.
No
you
kidding.
And your
would-
neighbor kids played in yours?
Well, actually, my neighbor kids came over and they fell in love with it.
Look at
So
that.
they talked their dad into making one up the canyon. They went up the canyon and made this, and they made steps up to it on one side. They made another door out the other side, so they had a slippery slide out it. They couldn't wait to tell me how fun it was. So.
That's neat.
Diane Thomas and Igloo.
Thank you.